I'm Mishima Yuki, and you're listening to the Giant Sword Podcast, home of the second biggest group of Phantom Thieves ever. The first being me. Keck.
Hello, and welcome to this week's Giant Sword Podcast. I'm your party leader, Nick. Joining me, as always, is Taylor. Taylor, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, sir. How are you?
You know, just the usual stuff. Working.
Working.
Yep, we're recording this right before New Year's, so let's get this out before the new year. Because this episode is going to be the Game of the Year episode. Woo! Everyone celebrate.
Yeah.
Do you have a Game of the Year, Taylor, in mind right now?
I do.
You do?
In fact, I put out yesterday my top 5 JRPGs of the year video where I crowned my Game of the Year.
Oh, good. It's good to hear. So everyone already knows what you're going to say.
Not everyone, but probably some people.
All right. So let's just, we pulled out a poll about our community. What is everyone's? Before we do that, let's chill a little bit. So we have merch at our merch store, GiantSwordPodcastStore.com. Yes, an actual link, actual website. If you want some T-shirts with some cool designs by Brian Cops, it's a good one. I have it. I'm not wearing it right now, but it's really awesome. Check that out. And yeah, it helps support us. And I just wanted to shill out our shirts because they're really cool.
We got a new design coming soon.
Oh yeah,
I think, right?
We do have a new design. I already have it. I just need to set it up. So soon, next year, when the holiday season finally calms down and I'm able to work.
Next year, in like 2 days.
Exactly, in 2 days. All right, so let's move to the community game of the year. All right, Taylor. So you take a hold of this topic.
Sure. Yeah. So I thought it'd be fun to just do a community poll just to see what everybody thought for Game of the Year and JRPG of the Year. It ended up being the same game, but we'll get to that. I had, I think, 5 choices by default, and then I left a blank space where people could enter their own games. So some of these were a little bit funny. So do you want me to just kind of go through it right now?
Yeah. Let's do that.
Okay. So we'll do JRPG again. The results are the same as far as 1, 2, 3. So at number 3, coming in. So for JRPG of the year, it had 12.7% of the votes, and for Game of the Year, it had 7.8% of the votes, and that was Ease 9 Monstrum Nox.
I was like, wait. That's the game of the year? No, that's number 3.
No, number 3. Number 3. Yeah.
Are you surprised at that?
Not really.
I mean, I know you. I know you liked it a lot, but are you surprised that a lot of people actually played it?
I guess. I think 8 was the game that a lot of people found it, especially because it came to Switch. So it doesn't surprise me necessarily. I was hoping it would get more recognition, but that's okay. Can't do it all, can't have it all. The fact that people are playing Ease now and know what it is, that's good enough.
Now they need to go get some Ease 7. Go back. Go to Ease 7.
Yeah.
It's on PC now, so go play it. That's a good one.
It is. Did you end up beating Ease 9?
No.
I forget.
No.
Okay.
And that's only because I had to transfer it to my PS5 and I stopped playing it because of it. I don't know why.
Man, playing on PS5, I bet it runs like a dream on there.
When I first did it, it was just running the PS4 version, but then it got a PS5 version, so.
Okay.
I should go back to it. I mean, I'm on chapter 5, I think. Am I doing the cowgirls?
Yeah. So you have almost all the characters, so you're
I think
getting close to halfway, I think.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. That's when I stopped.
Got it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so number 2 with 24 12.5% of JRPG of the year and 18.6% of Game of the Year was Shin Megami Tensei 5.
Okay.
The
Obvious.
SMT crowd came out, like on all my videos at the end of the year and in this poll and on Twitter, like people really love this game. I was actually watching a couple other YouTubers, like Happy Console Gamer said it was his game of the year. I was really surprised to hear that. Um, Personally, I don't really see what the big deal with this game is or this series in general.
Whoa, you heard it here first, folks. Great. Now we're gonna now this channel's gonna get hate mail.
That's right. Yeah. Um, yeah. I mean, the combat it's basically Persona combat, so that's fine. I'll take it back. I actually enjoyed the gameplay of 5 way more than 3, which is a PS2 game. But the thing that really killed it for me, and I'm sure you're gonna say, "Oh, that's not a big deal," but every time you die, you have to go back to your last save. You can't retry the battle. And I hate, to me, I'm at a point in my life where if a game wastes my time like that, I just don't have time for that crap, Like auto save, let me retry battles. Don't do that crap. I hate that. I'm too old to get good now. So if
you're not too old, and it's not that you don't have enough time. You just feel that way.
Dude, are you kidding me?
Because
I have two businesses that I run, I can't.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying you have your game time, and that's what happens. All right?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, and if a game is not that limited, well, it's not even limited, but in the time that I do have to play games, if a game won't respect my time, then I'm not gonna give it my time. So
that's just a personal thing. It's gonna dock a couple points.
Yes, exactly. And I know a lot of people don't feel that way, obviously, because people are really loving this game. But that's just a personal pet peeve of mine. You didn't play this game, right?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Any interest?
I since I host a JRPG podcast, I need to start playing these games. It's just whenever I play a game, I feel like I need to complete them, and I do not have the time to do that. So I want to figure out like a mid ground where it's like, okay, I'm gonna play like first 5 hours, and if I like it, I'll continue it. If I don't, then I have an opinion on it.
I think that's a perfectly acceptable way to do it, because that's because that's the really tricky part, right? Because JRPGs are typically really long, and SMT specifically is also very long. So, I don't think you necessarily have to beat the game, but I think if you've played enough to have an opinion, I think that's good enough.
I also have seen people online saying like actually disappointed in SMT 5, and I don't
Really?
know. I don't know why. I've seen like people seen that have that opinion. I think maybe Shadow might have that opinion. We got to ask him the next time we have him on here. But I'm not sure. I mean, I think I saw a tweet that was him.
Interesting. I know he reviewed it, and the game came out. It's been a while, so I forget. But
also, this is another game that has, I think, the Final Fantasy 15 Taylor syndrome, where a lot of people have been waiting for this game for years and years and years, and just want to like, oh yeah, it's good, it's really good, I really enjoy this game, it's great, oh yeah, I really had fun, and then like a couple years from now, it's like, oh man, that was really disappointing. I don't know, I have no opinion on it because I haven't played it yet, but I'm like, maybe that could happen if this actually surprises you, Taylor.
Yeah, that's an interesting take. I hadn't even thought of that. Yeah, because it was announced at the Switch reveal event or whatever, and I believe it's the last game to get released that was at that event, and that was 2017. So yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, so SMT 5. All right, and so
The obvious one, guys, the obvious one.
Yeah, so coming in with 40.2% of JRPG of the Year votes and 39.2% of the Game of the Year votes is Neo: The World Ends With You. I was really surprised. I couldn't believe people loved it that much.
Sold. I know, it's crazy how much it sold, actually. Everyone on our Discord was raving about it. So this is an obvious choice.
No, it's Tales of Arise. I don't think that really surprised anybody. I know I personally really loved it. Definitely my favorite Tales game. and I know Nick, you're a old school Tales purist, and I know you did not like it as much. But do you still think it's a good game? He's even hesitant to call it a good game. Wow.
I would say,
Mr. curmudgeon over here.
No, I would say the first. I don't know what even to call it because it's not really the first half.
Part chapter. How about part one?
Part one.
Yeah.
Part one of Arise is pretty good. Some of the story just feels extremely rushed in that part. In the part one part, right? And you're like, okay, I'm in this new area. Oh, I'm already out of this area. What? And some areas, like, you know, you're there for a long time. So it was fun to be fun characters, and the gameplay was fun. But there's just so many things about it that just really, you know, hit me the wrong way. As a Tales fan, all right, it just hits me the wrong way. People say it's like, oh, this is cool. Tales feels so different. I'm like, no, it still feels like Tales, but they took away things that made it more magical, I guess. I don't know what to say. I just felt like the world was small. That was it's one of the things. Yeah, the world was small. It was just like, oh, here's an area and here's a town. Here's an area, here's a town. Here's an area, here's a town. Oh, okay, that's cool. And it didn't feel like a world to me. It felt like I was on like a continent. One of the games that also had this problem was Tales of Hysteria, which was literally just on one part of the continent, and it felt small. So, because they're trying to make it like Skyrim, right?
Yeah.
And then the whole second part debacle was just like, oh my goodness. This is like a vague version of our spoiler cast.
Yeah. Yeah, basically. Go watch that if you want our full thoughts. But
like, the only thing I'm worried about is that this is gonna bring in the fandom that we don't want. That always happens, because this was a very popular game, right? It sold a lot. And I can't wait for all the Zoomers who are like, oh man, Tales of Rise is all great. Let's play an old game. Wait, Tales isn't like, the old games aren't like this. All these games suck. It's like, no, you're wrong, and you should feel bad. I mean, you're
already having a made up argument with somebody.
You might be you're right about Tales of Symphonia, but everything else, no. Yeah. Just the 3D ones. You can never go wrong with the 2D ones. Except for Taylor. Taylor can't handle the random battles.
Mm-hmm. No more random battles.
No more. You know the Tales of Hearts DS? Mm-hmm. It was 2D, and it also had the enemies on screen, so you could see them.
What? Crazy.
And I don't remember. Did you play the one on the Vita?
A little bit, yeah.
Did that one have random battles?
I don't remember.
Oh, yeah, I don't remember. I think it did. But yeah, Tales of Rise Game of the Year. I totally expected it. For some reason, it's my Game of the Year because it's the only new game that I played this year.
All right.
And it was fun. I mean, it was a fun game. I was really excited for it. It just felt like, even after all the time they took with it, it felt rushed in the end, which is sad.
Yeah, I will say that. Well, it was weird. It was weird because it felt rushed and bloated at the same time.
Yes. Okay. So it felt rushed and it didn't feel focused at the end. Like at the beginning when you're the whole, you're a slave kind of thing, right? That was awesome. That part was cool. That felt awesome. And then when you go farther into the story, it just started losing more and more focus, it seemed. Especially in part 2.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, part 2 got the ending. I know you didn't play Scarlet Nexus, but the ending of Tales of Arise and the ending of Scarlet Nexus, they remind me so much of each other because they just get so off the rails. Tales of Arise is way more coherent. I at least knew what was going on a little bit, but it has a lot of jargon. Tales has a bad habit of making up jargon. I'm like, what are you talking about? And then Scarlet Nexus, I'm like, dude, I have no idea what's happening. Like, forget it. Like, I'm just gonna sit and enjoy the gameplay because I have no idea what you're even talking about anymore. But just so we give shout outs to all the other games. So coming in at number in fourth place with 7.8% of the votes was Scarlet Nexus.
Expected.
Yeah. In fifth with 6.9% of the votes was Neo: The World Ends With You. I think a lot of that definitely came from our Discord because that was when that game came out, it was really popular on our Discord.
That was definitely Oz's multiple accounts just kept voting for it.
That's right. Yeah. This one, I think this was a game that pleasantly surprised a lot of people. Number 5 is Monster Hunter Stories 2. I really liked that game. That was really fun. I think you might like it too.
I want to buy it. I need to check online right now because the sale's still going on. I was just waiting for it to go on sale.
Okay.
So I want to play it on the PC and not on my Switch.
There you go. And then just rounding out a couple other games that got one vote. Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. I didn't play it, but you did. Thoughts?
I mean, if you want to play Final Fantasy, if Final Fantasy VII Remake, I mean, that's a great game. And Intergrade is just the PS5 version, which is the best port. Sadly, not sadly, is the best port of the game. PC has issues, so game looks amazing. You saw me playing it. It just looks and runs and so smooth. Oh.
So if I know this is probably a lot of people, but they're like playing the PS4 version. Is it worth buying the Yuffie DLC? Like if you pay for the upgrade, is it worth it? You think?
Yeah, I mean the Yuffie DLC is only like $15, right?
Okay.
I mean you get the you get the game for free if you already have it. The upgrade.
Nice.
Yeah, the Yuffie DLC is very simple. It's fun. It adds more. You see more characters and more sites. It's very short. It's like 4, 5, 6 hours long, around there. Yeah, simple enough.
Cool. Yeah, no, I'm excited to play. I mean, it's whenever I get a PS5, hopefully, I want to try to get it before Horizon Zero Dawn comes out, which I think is mid-February. So whenever that happens, I definitely want to get the Yuffie DLC so I can be ready for part 2 whenever that comes out in 10 years.
Everyone get your boy Taylor a PS5. Do it.
No, I'll buy one on eBay soon. It's just, I was trying to buy it legit and it's just so freaking annoying at this point. I'm like, this is stupid.
I bet you one of our audience is a scalper and has one in stock. And it's like, hey,
Probably.
help me. I'll buy it for the exact same price.
Yeah, I mean, I think I might just put a tweet out or like a little community post out and be like, hey, anybody got access to have a PS5 they want to sell? I'll pay you for it. So, let's see what else. Another couple of votes. Persona 5 Strikers, great game. Bravely Default 2.
How many votes for Bravely Default 2?
Just one.
Just one. Oh.
The rest of these only have one vote.
So everyone voted for the typical answers.
Pretty much, yeah. Integrate, and then there was also one vote for what was it? Nier Replicant version, blah 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 blah. Which I was surprised I didn't like that game more because I liked Nier Automata a lot, but Nier Replicant is so slow. The story is so slow. Apparently people are like, oh, you know, because like in the Nier games, it's like you beat it and then like it's not really over. There's like story A and then B, C, D, whatever. They're like, you just got to beat the first 2 or the game once or whatever, and then it starts getting good. But I was like, man, I'm like 5, 6, 7 hours in and I'm bored. Like,
it's again. I mean, it's the remake of the first one, right? And the first one was very slow. So
yeah, I mean, the big problem with the first game, I guess, was like the clunky combat. But the combat's good in this game. They definitely fixed that, but yeah, the story is still pretty nuts. It was fine, but it was just slow. And then for Game of the Year, a little bit more diverse. Let's see here. In fourth place, Neo World Ends With You. Fifth place, Resident Evil Village. Did you play Village?
I haven't even played 7.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I think you would I think Village is way better. That's just my opinion. I think the setting's better, the combat's better. I think this, yeah. But they are connected. They are direct continuations. So if you care about the story at all, play 7 first, I guess. But I loved it. I think I beat that game all the way through like 3 times this year because I beat it once, and then after you beat it, you unlock guns and stuff, and so
The typical Resident Evil stuff.
yeah, I blasted through it with like some of the fun guns, and yeah, great game. Let's see, and then I think there was okay. So then the next game up is Monster Hunter Rise. Fun game. Really enjoyed that.
I like how they're now showing the PC version in all the trailers because it's all running very smooth and very nice, and you're like, yeah, this is not the Switch version.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because they're doing that. There's like a new DLC thing, like Sunbreak or something. Yeah, looks pretty cool. Metroid Dread after that.
Oh, nice.
A lot of people enjoyed that this year. I was actually shocked. I actually 100%ed that game. It was fun. I'll stop asking you if you played any of these games because you said the only new game you played this year was Tales of Arise, right?
I played Metroid Dread.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I didn't get really far in it, but it felt like it's fun. It was nice to finally play another 2D Metroid game.
Mm-hmm.
So I like those.
Yeah, no, it was cool. It was fun.
But I did beat this year. I did beat Metroid Fusion again.
Oh, no, which one is that?
That was the one before Metroid Dread. It's on the Game Boy.
What platform?
Game Boy Advance.
Game Boy Advance. Wow. Okay. Cool.
And you could beat that in like 2 hours.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're short.
Interesting. Okay, and then the rest of these only got 1 vote, but there's some really interesting ones. Cyberpunk was on here, which I don't think counts because it technically came out last year.
Who would say that though?
I know. Apparently, if you play it on PC and you have a good PC, it's actually not bad. But I kind of agree. Ratchet and Clank, Nier. Oh, I take it back. People put Nier twice. They just spelled it differently. So there were 2 entries for Nier.
N-E-I-R and N-I-E-R.
Well, they both spelled it. One put like capital N-I-E capital R, and then the other one didn't capitalize R. Yeah, they do this stupid spelling crap. Let's see. Persona 5 Strikers, Deathloop, Lost Judgment. I actually really want to play Lost Judgment. It's like the action Yakuza spin-off series. It looks really cool.
The action Yakuza? All Yakuzas were action.
Okay, you're right. Because they went turn-based, but
this one is the police. You play as the police.
Yeah. What else? We had Psychonauts 2, Bravely Default 2, Kena Bridge of Spirits, which I still want to finish. That game was fun. Persona 5 Strikers, new Pokemon Snap. I was surprised to see somebody pick that for Game of the Year, but you know what? Takes all kinds. So, overall, we got 102 responses. So, really appreciate everybody that voted. That was fun. We'll definitely do that again next year. Hopefully, we can get even more people talking, voting.
I want to do.
We'll do more categories.
I want to do a category where just like best game you played of the year, because I don't really play a lot of the new games. I play a bunch of other old games, like backlog games, and I want to say the best game I played this year was Breath of the Fire 3. Stuff like that.
Got it.
That'd be good. That'd be a good category.
So that was your Game of the Year, regardless of what year it came out?
No. I was just saying.
Oh, okay.
Breath of Fire 3 is a great game, though. It was fun.
But by default, it sounds like Tales of Arise is your Game of the Year, you said?
Yeah. I had fun with it. It didn't blow me away, which is crazy because Tales of Zestiria blew me away. This one did not. Yeah. I really had fun, and I was sad when I beat Tales of Zestiria. You know that feeling, right? When you play a game, you're like, oh, it's over. I got that with Tales of Zestiria. I did not get that with Arise, really. Finally, I'm done with Arise.
To be fair, that's kind of how I felt too. But I would say I still enjoyed it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Overall.
I did enjoy it. Yeah. It just I really do think the second part is what made it like that.
Yep.
Yeah, because it's I don't want to say it.
Yeah, it's got its problems.
Yeah.
But for me, I don't know if this will be a surprise to you, but my game of the year was Ys 9.
Man, that's crazy because I was early in the year. I was like really early in the year, wasn't it?
I think it was I think it was like early February or something. But to me, like the story wasn't that great in Ys 9, but man, that the gameplay, like the combat and the movement mechanics with the gifts, like where you can run up walls and zip to points and glide, and man, it was so fun. Like I don't think I had more fun playing a game than I did with Ys 9. Plus the soundtrack is just amazing. That shredding guitar, I love that stuff. So yeah, I loved Ys 9. I know people are kind of starting to get sick of this formula with the character switching stuff, but I don't know, it's working for me. So I say just keep doing it. Just they really need to up the graphics. Like the visuals they look so dated. That's the only complaint I really have. Maybe make the story a little more interesting. Sometimes it gets a little long-winded. So keep the story brief, up the graphics.
Would it surprise you if I said I liked 8? I like 8 more.
I think most people have said that. Actually, I feel like I'm in the minority. A lot of people have said that they like 8 more than 9,
and I really wonder why I feel that way. I don't know.
At least for me, I think, from what I've heard, the two things are the variety of environments in 8. Because in 9, you're mainly in the city and like dingy dungeons, but in 8, you're in like that beautiful island. And then they also really liked the Donna story. Mm. Is that kind of what you liked about 8?
I liked definitely the environment, because that bothered me, just being in the city. What the next Ys game, I really want them to be like, I want to go explore for reals. Like there's a city, there's multiple cities you can explore like the other ones, and you explore the area around them. That's what I want. An actual treasure hunt. I don't know. It definitely is the island, because it definitely feels. It might not be, but Ys 8 feels more dense than Ys 9. Ys 9 for me feels kind of empty.
That's fair.
That's by design, by the way. And Ys 8 has a ghost ship. I mean, come on.
It does have a ghost ship. And I think too in 8 there's like a really nice sense of progression as you're like rescuing all the people from the boat crash and stuff. Because like you're building up the island and your little campsite and stuff, and as you add more people, your town just gets bigger and there's more stuff that you can do. So
I did love exploring and leveling up their social links. That's how I get the true ending, by the way. But if you don't want to do that busy work, then you just rush through it. But I enjoy.
Feel like I did beat it in like hour and a half.
Yeah, there you go. Like you just destroyed that game.
I was really surprised I ended up like learning the speed run as well as I did.
It's an experience that you never thought you would have, and you learned something.
It was fun. God, it took so long though to get under 2 hours. It took so long.
It didn't like when you're working to do that, didn't they find a glitch where it made it like you could be in like 15 minutes?
Yeah, but to me that was way less fun, because I think what I enjoyed about 8, there's like a lot of skill related skips in 8, and that's the whole reason I wanted to learn the speedrun in the first place, because it looked fun to just do. The really short skip, it just gets rid of all that, which I mean, I guess that's the point of a speedrun, but
it's just really funny watching you play that. It's just like what you could do in that game to break it is hilarious, and you never would think that.
I guess it's just what really messes with it is the character switching stuff, because there's a glitch where like when you're in the mud sections, you essentially give yourself infinite jumps, because there's like a character stuck in the mud. so they can never really get out of the mud. But then you have a guy above the mud, and so you're just switching and flying in the air. It's that's my favorite part of the speed run. It's really cool.
All right, so I actually asked in even not the poll. I asked what was people's JRPG of the year in the Discord, and it's actually very very diverse. Like it's not just one thing.
Yeah.
Like Shaft says Tales of Arise because it's the only one that he played.
Fair enough.
Gabriel says I'd say it's Ys 9. There you go, another Ys 9 or SMT 5. Narrative Gatekeeper says SMT 5. Marauding through the ruins of Tokyo and battling demons has never been this cool. I know people find the story thin, but I didn't care. Having too much fun playing the game itself. Kartacha said not playing all the hot ones, but the ones I played, I would say Disguise 6 and Bravely Default 2. I like equally.
Wow, I forgot about Disgaea 6. Yeah, that game was a big bummer. But hey, if you enjoyed it, that's all the more reason. That's cool.
The only reason why it's a bummer because it runs bad in Switch. So once we get that PC port, I bet you people would like it.
Yeah, I can't believe they. Hopefully, Nintendo paid him a pretty penny because man, it runs like poop on Switch.
Also, he says, as the one I feel it would be best, although I haven't played it yet, Tales of Arise. You never know. Israel says, FF14 Endwalker for me. Jack B says, Ys 9 was insanely fun. I started Tales of Arise. It's also really fun and impressive, so I could see why it's so well received. Well, when you first started, it seemed like that. Pigeon Senpai says SMT 4 or 5. SMT 4 for talking about games that we played this year, but for 2021 releases, maybe SMT 5, I guess. Maybe they don't like it. SMT 4 has everything I want in a JRPG: good music, combat, characters, and atmosphere. See, that's the games I played this year kind of thing I would like to do. Nova Chaser says, I would have given it to Arise if it wasn't virtually unanimous. It was lacking in some areas. And since I can't choose a remake like Mass Effect Collection, I'll pick Guardians of the Galaxy. Looks great, short but sweet, awesome cast, and replay value.
I actually heard that game was surprisingly good. I want to get around to it at some point.
And it's not a JRPG in traditional sense, but it's Square Enix. If that doesn't count, then Neo, the world ends with you. So, there you go.
Very cool.
Very cool. Very cool. So let's do some questions. Yeah.
All right.
Real quick. Bump. All right. So Will Kreppelin asks, who on the server is most wrong about RPGs and why is it Oz?
This is a very niche type of
it's a joke question.
thing.
It's a joke question that we just wanted to get out.
Sure.
It's just funny. It's funny.
I was gonna say me, maybe.
Yeah. It's true. Who on the most server is most wrong about RPGs? Taylor.
Yeah.
Taylor's taste is all over the place. You just can't pin him down.
I'm the wild card, baby.
Yeah.
You can't figure me out.
He could like something that's crap, and then he hates something that's the exact same thing that he said he liked. It just doesn't make sense.
What am I gonna do? You'll never know.
Kartacha asks, "What is your JRPG of the year?" Let's not put Tales of Arise though. You played it. Yeah. You played a few.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Ys 9.
Ys 9.
Yeah.
Definitely Ys 9. Other than Ys 9, what would you say?
So if it wasn't Ys 9 and it wasn't Tales of Arise, I think on my list next would have been Monster Hunter Stories 2. I really... So you know me, or maybe you don't know this, but I love playing like the fashion metagame in RPGs. And Monster Hunter Stories 2... Normally in the core Monster Hunter game, you obviously like you kill a monster and you get their parts and then you craft the gear. But in this one, not only can you do that, but you can like change the color afterwards. And then you can also mess with your characters, like their face and their hair. You can really customize them. So I loved playing that fashion metagame. And stories too. It was so fun.
All right, so I heard that after you beat the main story, there's like a ton to do after the fact. Did you do any of that?
No, I had to move on. I think that was a busy review season. I put that review out late, so I just never got around to doing more of it. But that's what I heard. Yeah, I heard there's like exclusive monsters to the post game or something.
Yeah, I remember Maddie was really, really delving deep into Monster Hunter Stories too. And I was like, didn't you beat that game like a week ago? And he's like, there's a ton to do afterwards. So would you go back to it just to do some stuff?
Maybe. Yeah, possibly. Because let me see what I'm looking at the start of the year. Yeah, there's not really a JRPG I want to play till like February, so yeah, I might give it a try, but knowing me, I'll probably just end up playing more Genshin Impact.
Oh no, you fell into that hole again?
Oh yeah, I've been playing it a lot on Christmas break. So
Did you get all the new waifus?
no, actually the latest new characters were all husbandos.
Oh.
So but
You get the night.
and this wouldn't be any like I guess it was in my top 5, but I want to give a special shout out to Fuga Melodies of Steel. Have I told you about that game, or did we talk about it last time at all?
I think we talked. Probably did, but we have definitely talked about it, and especially in your latest video, on one of your latest videos.
Yeah. So if you didn't see it, for those of you listening or watching that didn't see it, basically, yeah, Fuga Melodies of Steel is in the same universe as like the Tail Concerto series or like Red Solo Torobo, like that's made by CyberConnect 2 that makes all those Naruto games, and it's like half like turn-based strategy RPG kind of, and then the other half is like these sim elements. So you have these tank battles where you're in this big tank and you have to pick which kind of attack to do, and it can either like delay the enemy's turn or do damage or break their shield. So it's really strategic. And then the other half is like your tank is gigantic. Think like Howl's Moving Castle type of thing. And so you can upgrade your tank, you can interact with other characters inside the tank, you can cook food, you can there's even parts where like when you're driving the tank, you can go do little dungeon crawling. I mean, it's super, super simple, but it's still fun. You can find parts and money and stuff. Yeah, and I just thought it was really charming and fun and well made, and unfortunately it didn't sell really well. But I think it's a really cool little game that didn't get enough attention. So yeah, consider checking it out.
You know what happened this year that I totally forgot? Tales of Destiny remake got its unofficial English patch. And I was playing that,
right.
And I'm like, I can't believe I'm finally playing this in English.
Mm.
Oh, so nice. So nice.
Instead of looking at that godforsaken guide every single time.
Yep. I've beat multiple games doing that. I beat Tales of Destiny 2 doing that. And then I started Tales of Rebirth doing that, and then I stopped. And now Tales of Rebirth apparently is almost done, so maybe soon we're gonna be playing that in English. I'm like, thank God. Oh yeah, I'm happy about that. That's great. I'm glad that that's coming out soon, other than Tales of Destiny 2, because I've already beat Tales of Destiny 2. Granted, I would love playing that in English again, or playing that in English. But I haven't played Tales of Rebirth really that far, and I would love to delve into that, because that's a game that's very obscure for a lot of fans.
No, for sure. I mean, I think a lot of people didn't even know what. Let me back up even further. People are really confused with the Destiny series because there's Tales of Destiny 2, which is really Tales of Eternia, and then there's actually a Tales of Destiny 2 that we never got.
Yep.
And then there was a remake that nobody's ever heard of. So it's really like, yeah, it's really crazy.
Well, Taylor, a lot of Tales fans, Western Tales fans, don't know there's even PS1 Tales games. They only know of Tales of Symphonia, Tales of Vesperia, and now Tales of Arise. It's that type of people, you know? What are you taking a picture of?
So what I'm trying to do. So I have the Google. So I don't know if you've seen this, but there's a new Google app, and if you just hold your phone up to it, it'll like live translate it. So I've had this idea of like I wonder if if the days of having to wait for English patches and stuff are a thing of the past. Because I'm thinking like, what if you bought like the little Google Cardboard VR thing, stuck your phone in it, just had the Google app open at all times, and you could literally just play it like that. Like I thought that was a great idea.
Yeah. Okay. I get that.
And
and you obviously have not heard of MTL, machine translated something, machine translation. I think that's what it's called.
Yeah.
And it makes a lot of gibberish. And so that's probably what's going to happen with that stuff. You're going to be playing a game, and it's going to say something completely random. And you're going to be like, what? Also, another thing about that, Taylor. I mean, I like your enthusiasm and your optimism, but you saying that you don't want to waste time, just imagine every text box you have to wait for that thing to load. And imagine
it's pretty instantaneous, honestly.
Is
I mean, it's like a second or two. It's not that long.
So hopefully it's not like MTL, because there's a lot of visual novels that have MTLs, and it's just hilarious. You can't even watch them. There's really bad.
Is it just like unreadable, or it's
hilarious. It's like just garbage gobbledygook. And you could get like a general hint, general idea of what's going on.
Yeah.
But then it just like says something like girl on pizza having fun. You're like, wait, what? There's nothing about a girl. There's nothing about pizza going on right now.
Weird.
Yeah, it's very strange indeed. Taylor's just testing it.
Yeah.
Okay, so my JRPG of the year, let's go back to the questions. I played a lot of PS1 RPGs. Played Breath of Fire 3, Breath of Fire 4. I messed around with Lunar. And I'm free. What else did I play? Oh my gosh. I know I played another one. It's I played something, but I forgot. But I really enjoyed Breath of Fire 3, and I really enjoyed Breath of Fire 4. So Breath of Fire 3 and 4 are amazing games that everyone should play. Amazing. If you are like Taylor and hate random battles, then you might have a trouble with this because there are a lot of random battles. But the combat's fun, which is what I enjoyed. Compared to Breath of Fire 1 and 2, 3's a huge step up.
Yeah, I've heard the Breath of Fire games are really, really good. Haven't played too much of them, but I've heard good things. Unfortunately, the series is sort of dead because the last game was a mobile game.
Yeah, Breath of Fire 6 was a mobile game. Sadly.
Sad.
You need to... I think that's a good idea for a video, is your opinions on a PS1 JRPGs or older JRPGs. You just play like an hour and then or an hour or two, and then you shrink all your opinions in like 15-minute video. Your live reaction or stuff like that.
Here's my reaction. Old game is old.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You might really like it. You just don't know. If you guys want to see Taylor do that, be sure to just comment saying that you do. Just poke him. Just keep poking him. Okay. So Josiah Otaku asks, would you like to see more JRPGs get direct sequels with the same cast of characters? If so, what series would you like to do? Would you like to see do this more often?
Yeah, I mean, there aren't a whole lot now that I think about it, huh? Because even like the longest running ones, it's always a new cast each game.
So, would you like to see more JRPGs get direct sequels? No, I would not actually, because their story is done. Their story's done. So I would like to see more often in JRPGs is epilogues showing where they are at after the fact. Like an after credits scene that's actually like 15 minutes long. That's what I love. That's what I love. A lot of JRPGs go, yay, we're done. Woo! Credits. Okay, what happened afterwards? The best ones are the ones that have after credit scenes. In what series would you like to see do this more often? I don't know. Like, if I'd really like, can you imagine? They've tried. Like, is there a good one with the sequel with the same cast? If there is even one.
I mean, Persona 4. I mean, I know it's just a lame answer, but I would love to play just to because they made so many dumb spin-offs, right? You know, and they've found stupid ways to keep the story going. Like, let's find a legit way to keep the story going.
But every single one is
there's
legit.
a copycat. There's a copycat. I mean, you know what I mean. Like, like there's a copycat killer, and we're doing the investigation all over again. But this time it was Yosuke, or I don't know. I'm just I'm being silly, but like to me I would only want it because I love those characters so much, and I'd love another like RPG adventure with them. In a way, I would say Final Fantasy VII, but I feel like in a way this remake series is more of a sequel than a remake. Weirdly enough, for those that have finished it, know what I mean.
Yep.
So that, yeah, I don't know. It is strange that we don't get a lot of like direct sequels.
I do see. Okay, we do sometimes get like Tales of Destiny 2, the real one. It actually is a direct sequel. You're just not playing as the same characters. They're there. I like the idea as you're in the same world, and the characters that you played with, that you grew up to love, are still there, and you can see them in the world, but you're playing someone else, and it's their story. And sometimes they help you out, you know?
Sure.
That's what I like happening. You're not Yuna and have guns and a pop star, okay?
As fun as that would be.
That's what happened, right?
Yeah, no, yeah.
They had guns, right? Oh, I'm not going.
No, Yuna had guns, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And the game opens. I think the opening cinematic is them doing like a pop song thing.
It's so weird.
Yep, sure is.
Okay. To piggyback off of the last question, Hookah LeConk asks, what is a JRPG sequel that you want to see more than anything? For me, I love a Xenoblade Chronicles 3 and an Octopath Traveler 2. With a properly interwoven, connected storyline, unlike the first game.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
I think you actually said what you wanted in the last question. Question. You wanted Persona 4. They're in college now.
Mm-hmm.
And something's happening. What's gonna happen? Are they still all together, or do Persona 3 and Persona 5 characters come into the mix?
Oh no. I mean, maybe as cameos, but not like in big ways. Like, yeah, it's just the core P4 cast. But yeah, I think there's a copycat killer or something in Inaba. So you go back to Inaba, but now we're on PS4 and PS5. We can make the town bigger. They've made some improvements or something, so it's a little bit different. But again, to me the setting isn't really all that important. To me, it was about those characters and how they interacted and how they grew and how they're different. And to me, like at the true ending of Golden, like when everybody's different, they look different. Like it would be just really cool to explore that even further, because like characters like Naoto and Kanji change a lot through the game. So it'd be cool to see how they changed even further.
Jeffrey Siegel, you want to see more than anything? We all know what the sequel we want, and it's called Final Fantasy Tactics 2.
Final Fantasy Tactics. Yes.
So would you want it to be an actual sequel to Final Fantasy Tactics? Do you want it to follow like the mystery at the end of Final Fantasy? I can't. It's just going to spoil it. At the end of Final Fantasy Tactics 1. Do you want to follow?
You know, I've thought about that a lot, and I don't know. Like I think like for the fan service wise, that would be fun. But I think because like I forget the guy's name, the astrologer guy. He's the one that's writing the story down. So it might be kind of fun to have like one of his children be like reading the book or whatever, and it's like generations later or something. Um, yeah. I would take either of those, but
Okay, it's
yeah.
okay. Olan, right? Olan is the
Oh yeah, yeah.
no, because the other guy we're watching is like Alazam or something, Alazama or something like that. I always think it says Alakazam. It's not Alakazam, but it's similar. But he's like the great great grandson of Olan, which he's in the final scene. The guy who's in the final scene,
Mhm.
and apparently he gets executed being a heretic, saying what telling everyone that no, this has not happened. Delita is not the king. He's not the hero that we all say he is, and I want to see that storyline. I want to see what's going on in that. Like
That would be cool.
because they are covering up what really happened, and I want to see like a storyline based in that.
That would be pretty cool. Yeah, I'd be down to see that.
Yeah.
Because I think stuff like that's interesting. Because like, even if you like know what's gonna happen, how it happens, I think, if done right, can be interesting.
Yeah. Like, how did it get here? Like the mysterious middle game between Tales of Zestiria and Tales of Berseria. There's something that happens in there, and they hint at it a lot. And it's like, I want that game. What happened?
Yeah.
What
Nobody
happened?
cares.
Okay, that game would look like and play like Tales of Arise, huh? What would you think about that?
Yeah. Who cares?
Who cares? Who cares? There's so many story things that I want to know about. Like, what happened? Why did everything happen? Why did everything in Tales of Zestiria happen? Because in Tales of Berseria, everything ended in a good note.
Somebody effed it up.
Exactly. And that's what I want to find out. Gosh, guys. Okie dokie, everybody. That would be it for our Game of the Year episode. Thanks for listening. Do you agree with Tales of Arise being the Game of the Year or JRPG of the Year? If not, be sure, if so, and if not, be sure to comment below and be sure to talk about it on our Discord. And yeah, we'll be back hopefully next week. Actually, we have some good topics that I really want to talk about. I have some guests on, and I'm really excited of what's to come next. So see you next year, everybody, and have fun and play Tales of Destiny. What do you want to say, Taylor?
Yeah, thanks for listening this year. Yeah, we're looking forward to doing more, getting more guests on, more fun interactive stuff like that. So we will see you on the next episode.
Yep. Laters.